Well, what do you expect Friday just from this team and well, your team and their team? What's we don't know much about them. Obviously, tell us a little bit more.
Well, you know, it'd be interesting. This is our it's a journey, so it's our first game together and a real game where the game it matters who wins. Obviously, you want to win exhibition games, but you're well aware that the result doesn't count. So now it becomes a journey of building a resume for March, trying to have a great season. Stat sheets matter more to players and families now. You know, so all the things that go into running your program, coaching a team, become a lot more real. So you got to make sure you're ready for it all. But I say, you know, the guys are extremely excited. You know, and as far as our opponent Friday, they led the nation in threes attempted. They led the nation in threes made. And in their 2 exhibition games, they shot 111 three-point shots. So it should be interesting. If I was a fan of basketball, I'd make sure I'd come to our businessman special on Friday. So you can tell I grew up here. I'd come to the businessman special Friday just to watch.
Is there anything to slow them down, or you just
can't slow them down? They're not really interested either, to be honest with you. You know, not really our style. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes because our style is not to slow down. Now, obviously, our style is not to lead the nation in threes attempted. I'd like to lead the nation in threes made if we could shoot about 60%. But the Horace Broadnax has been around a while, so it's an interesting approach. They went 10-6 in their league. You know, so teams like this, you have to understand, they're not going to change. They're going to press us, and they're going to shoot the three because they're preparing. They'd love to get the win in the upset, but they're still going to prepare for what they think is going to be successful in their conference. And they went 10-6 in their league last year, so they have some very key players back.
Playing at noon because gym availability?
Oh gosh, you're asking the wrong guy. I don't think so. Anybody know the answer to that? While we're playing at noon, our football team plays Friday night. No, we really can't because Savannah State's got to play again because this is part of the Cayman Islands tournament. So I think they have to travel Saturday and play again Sunday. So we really had no option. Plus, you know, the ESPN app or ESPN3 or whatever, I'm not very good at that stuff. So you know that's good. So you're one of the first games played to go open the college season.
What, if anything, did you learn about this team in 2 exhibition games? Maybe that you didn't know, or maybe there wasn't anything that you didn't know.
Well, I liked what we tried to accomplish in the off season was playing aggressive defense, playing full court defense, not necessarily gambling, but playing full court defense and trying to put pressure on our opponent with our defense. I thought that was an area where we could vastly improve this year. Especially with Trey and Nasir in their second year playing, and the freshmen that I believe in that we have on our team, and having 2 point guards because you can keep the pace up when you have 2 guys like Kane and Justin. So, you know, I like the pace that we played at both of our games, and I think that's going to continue to be a goal of ours. You know, can we use that as a weapon to win games? Because not everybody plays that way, and you can impose your will and keep coming at teams, but you got to be able to maintain your efficiency when you go to the bench, and we were able to do that in the first couple of games. And even a Bellarmine game, like I will tell you, you know, I have a lot of respect for Bellarmine. They gave Louisville all they wanted last night. We had Jacob. It didn't matter, but it would have mattered if this wouldn't have happened. We had Jacob, Kyle, and Kane all had 2 fouls with 11 minutes to go in the first half. We played the last 11 minutes without them. And Trevor Moore answered. Bellarmine made a little run. He answered him with a big 3. Justin Jennifer answered him. Nasir Brooks answered him. So we had 3 guys off the bench come with answers when Bellarmine started to play well and to be able to maintain, you know, a sizable lead against them. On the road. So that's why it was such a big game for us.
That's something you haven't had to that extent before?
Not since my first NCAA tournament team 7 years ago. And we brought seniors off the bench with that team. You know, we brought Larry Davis and Darnell Wilkes and Biggie McLean, guys like Deion Dixon, guys like that come off the bench were veteran guys. That was a very, very underrated basketball team.
That was, nice years had a tender ankle, was that right? Or,
yeah, I'm bad with the injuries, keeping up with it.
okay, I was wondering if he or anybody else was.
We have guys that have tenderness. They're not the coach, but we have players that have tenderness. We'll see. You know, that stuff's all part of basketball. So, you know, I'm knock on wood. You hope everybody be ready to go Friday is really all that matters.
Preseason accolades, obviously, great thing for recognition for the program. Can be good for recruiting, all that. With such an experienced group of players, do you even have to broach that to kind of get to buy into a lot of that, or do you always have to as a coach?
Because we never talk about it, even though we're usually on the underrated side of it, I'm not going to talk about the overrated side. We just don't talk about it. You know, I really try to get my guys to worry about having a good practice today, and that you win because you've deserved to win, and that you'll play well because you prepared well. You'll make shots because you prepared to make shots. So I really try to, the way I approach things, not that I got the answers, but we just do not talk about, like, we don't have a dinner where we set goals and all that type of stuff. Now I know they talk about it behind the scenes, but I really work hard at trying to keep their focus on what we need to do to get better each day. And we're all far, far from where we need to be. Not just our team, every team. It's going to be a totally different ball game come conference play. So, you know, it's just not something we've ever really discussed. And, you know, so I haven't sat them down and said, hey, you know, don't read the newspaper, don't read the, you know, don't read the rankings. Like, I didn't say that when we weren't ranked. So I try to train my guys to only, it's hard with young people because they care about what people say about them on Twitter and social media. So I try to train, we put a lot of effort into getting them to not worry about things that don't matter. And it's year round because young people, what they do now is going to dictate what they do with the rest of their life, or at least have, you know, with the type of education they get and the type of man they become in the case of, you know, being a men's basketball coach. So that's just kind of how I approach everything. So it kind of just ties into my approach with that type of stuff.
Jake only took 5 shots in the 2 exhibitions. Any reason to be concerned about him not being aggressive? Or?
Work harder to get open, get more offensive rebounds. I told him if I was 6'6" and jumped like him, and I couldn't get open for whatever reason, I'd just go grab the rebound and score. So, but no, he's so unselfish, as you know. You know, he's so unselfish. He's such a good passer that you know, we've put so much of an emphasis on to that type of stuff that that doesn't concern me, not yet at least. But you know, I think you know, you got to go back to when I was a student. You know, Nick Van Exel would get 2 in a game that didn't matter. You know, but then in the game that mattered, he was ready. So I think, you know, Jake, you know, he kind of knows. Young guys finding their way, trying to build their confidence. He's well aware of when the real running will start.